Thanks a lot. Do I have the... Yes, here we go. So I'm the only thing between you and the coffee break, so I will try to make this very exciting. So thank you so much. I'm humbled by the invitation, and of course that was a bit of an exaggeration, but I'm very thankful for that. So what I would like to explain to you is how I, as somebody who didn't like insurance, and didn't want to enter that industry, came into that industry and started developing a passion for insurance, where I really believe insurance is going to be the most relevant product of future generations. I'm extremely passionate about insurance. And wefox Group has the goal of really reinventing insurance to what it's supposed to be. So what it is today, a mega industry, is not what it is supposed to be. So I entered the space, so my dad was in insurance for 30 years, and that's exactly the reason why I never wanted to have anything to do with insurance. So I was always running away from him whenever he wanted to talk about insurance. So I went into the startup world, and then destiny got me into insurance, and I really started thinking about what does insurance mean to me? And I do exactly that with all of our now 250 employees by now. On the first day I ask them, what is the association you have with insurance? And it's always the same words coming up. It's complex, it's intransparent, it's inconvenient. Insurance of the future is going to be nothing like that. Insurance of the future is going to be simple. It's going to be customer-centric. And it's going to be hyper-transparent, and that's exactly what we're working for. So let's look at one of the things that really went wrong with insurance. So the reason why insurance is this way is because insurance is the most beautiful business model of a capitalistic world. So consumers pay money, then the insurance companies take that money. They don't have to pay that money back straight away, there's a delay. So they can take that money, invest it in the capital markets, make more money, and then on average pay back less to consumers than the consumers paid in. So essentially it's a money multiplication machine, if everything works. And it did work for more than 100 years. So you as a CEO of an insurance company, all you had to think about, how do I get more money into my money multiplication machine to make more money? And how do you do that with an abstract product like insurance, right? It's nothing you can touch, and it's nothing that consumers really want. So you ask salespeople, not customers. You ask salespeople, what do you want? What do you need in order to get me more money into my money multiplication machine? And what do they need? They need intransparency. They need the possibility to confuse, right? They need the possibility to create fear, and that's what's happened. The product doesn't have to be like that, okay? The product of the future is going to be different, and that's because there is some big things changing. On the one side, no more capital returns, and on the other side, the consumer is not the king, but the consumer is the dictator, and he gets everything in life in real time. Everything he wants to order, he gets in real time. Just insurance is not coming in real time, and that's going to change via technology, and I'm going to explain to you how we're trying to approach that. But also the nature of insurance is not super attractive. It's not super engaging, right? So you type in a couple of variables, you answer a couple of questions, static variables, you get a price, you start paying monthly, quarterly, annually. You don't engage with the policy, you forget what you're actually insured for, then something bad happens, and in the best case, you get the money back after. But the world is changing, and the IoT revolution will allow us to calculate the risk that individuals are in right now with a high accurateness in real time. And if we know the risk that an individual is in based on unlimited amount of data inputs, we can turn insurance into something proactive rather than reactive. Not a financial protection from uncertain risk, but a proactive protection from highly likely risks based on IoT data. Insurance is going to change dramatically, and it's going to turn into a risk-minimizing service where the whole business model is going to be a service business model much rather than a financial service. The financial service is going to be an add-on. The core business model of insurance is going to be a risk-minimizing service. You walk through a street somewhere in a city you don't know, and you get the information, hey, this area, has a really high crime statistics. So you have three possibilities. Number one, you walk in a different way. It's super safe. It takes 3 minutes longer, but it's a really nice area. It's a really nice walk. Number two, you increase your amount for theft coverage for the next 30 minutes. Number three, you have the consciousness about heightened security or heightened risk, and you're going to carry that risk yourself. Risk minimizing service, okay? Proactive protection from highly likely risk based on IoT data. And then it's fully non-digital. It's very slow innovation cycles, and that's going to change dramatically. I believe that the human will play a role for quite some time, because insurance, not for the simple products, right, but for the more difficult questions like, what's going to happen if I, get disabled to the income of my family? Or what's going to happen if I might even die, right? Very difficult questions to my family. Or what happens to my retirement? So the human is required, but seamlessly integrated into a fully digital customer experience. So this is where we're going, and insurance is not an easy nut to crack, right? It's a really tough nut to crack. So that's why we're going about it with quite a sophisticated strategy, and I will try to explain to you how we use 3 business models in order to reinvent insurance at scale. But a little bit about our company. So we started off in 2015. So we have the wefox model, which is our approach to disrupting the distribution side. Okay, and here we're going to be live in 8 years, live in 8 years, live in 8 countries. We have around 1,700 brokers now working with us. I will explain to you how. And we're really covering all different insurance lines. In personal lines, we're moving into micro SME now. And we've launched last year our own insurance carrier called One. We now have around 70,000 customers in the first year. We have great partners like Munich Re. And I think one of the very special things about why insurance has not been cracked yet is because it's either young guys, tech guys, that think, I know everything better and I can disrupt the industry, and they fail because insurance is not like other industries. Or it's the old guys that say, these techies, but I've been here for like 30 years, you don't have any clue. Yeah. So the only way, and that's a cultural challenge, and we've been building that from the DNA in our company, is really build bridges between the young guys and the really, really experienced guys. And we've done that with our leadership. And we have some amazing investors. So we raised now around 150 million until date. And this is what we've done so far. So first, wefox. Our approach to disrupting the distribution. So let's look at how insurance products are actually sold today in personal lines. So 91% of all insurance products by Premier are sold with an actual human being interaction. So it's 41% tied agents that work with one insurance company like Allianz, and 50% brokers that work on behalf of the customer with all insurance companies or the entire market. And direct, experts were saying 10 years ago, this would by now be at least double. It's country to country very different, but it's a very small portion and it's commoditized products, right? So we said, okay, we're going to enter the market with focusing on the broker. There's 15 million brokers out there, and they have 3 billion active consumer relationships. And the way that they handle their consumer relationships is nothing like they should be handling them in today's age. Not the customer doesn't have a great experience, the broker has terrible processes, terrible technology. Maybe 1 meeting per day, a lot of manual work. So we said we're going to really focus on the broker and bring him into where he's supposed to be today with technology. And this is what we've built. It's really a marketplace for consumers and brokers and insurance companies. So let's first focus on the consumer. So the broker comes to us. We now have 1,700 brokers. And what he does is he brings his existing customers to our platform. And all of these 300 on average customers, they receive a wallet, a digital wallet, where they have all of their existing policies in the wallet. So P&C, health, and life. And they now use this wallet for everything insurance related. So if there's a question for insurance, there's a self-service opportunity to get answers. If they need a new commoditized product, simple, they can close it in real time, right? A household, liability, car insurance. If they want to make a claim, they do it via the app. But they always have a connection to their broker, and they just click on the app and connect to the broker via video conference. The single point of contact for everything insurance related. What is it for the broker? It's really a full service tool, a fully digitized CRM system that allows them to drastically increase their production and time with consumers. So they now have up to 10 meetings with their customers per day, up from 1. So how do we do that? So we don't only manage their existing customers, but we help them get new customers in their direct proximity. And we do marketing to match the right customer that has a need for a high-priced product like life or health insurance, complex products, with the best broker in his proximity. So then the customer goes through a digital risk analysis. Then automatically a meeting is scheduled. That meeting is prepared based on the data. And the broker now logs into his wefox portal, looks at his calendar, didn't need to find that customer, didn't need to prepare the meeting, didn't need to schedule that meeting, just clicks on it, looks through the preparation, goes into the video conference, takes the customer through a fully customized presentation, and then clicks a button and sends the offer to the app of the customer, and he can sign digitally. And he can move on to the next customer. Okay? And what we're doing for insurance companies, I will tell you in a second. But what are the results? So the wefox model is really a broker pool. So we are between the insurance companies and our brokers. And because of the sales power that we have now with 1,700 brokers, our margins that we get with insurance companies are much higher than an individual broker would get, right? And if we look at what is happening, after 12 months, a broker being on our platform. So we double his customer base from 300 to 600. We more than double the amount of premia that customers pay because we have new business processes and automated nurturing campaigns to increase the value of their customers. We have higher margins than an individual broker would get. So we're increasing the revenue per broker from 42,000 to around 140,000. We take 30%, the broker more than doubles his revenue. So then we were looking at, okay, what do we do with the insurance companies? I mean, this business model is good for consumers, this business model is good for brokers, but essentially, the stronger we get, we're very small today, the stronger we get, the more pressure we will have on insurance companies and reducing their margins. They don't really like this broker pool model. So we started talking to them, and they said, okay, what would be amazing if you could give us fully digital access to the strongest distribution channel in insurance, which is the broker distribution channel, and have all of that based on data and in real time. So we said, okay, we're going to build a third interface for insurance companies that gives insurance companies access to the customers on the wefox platform, anonymized, allows them to query for the most interesting customer groups, then allows them to adjust their product offering in a campaign just for a certain group of customers, and then have a real-time sales campaign where they can see in a dashboard how much revenue they're generating per product. They can edit the campaign, they can stop the campaign, they can boost the campaign. And then we started talking to insurers, okay, let's build this together. Yeah? And then the big meeting started, right? 30 people in a room, yeah? Everybody had to say something, but no action. Yeah. So we said, okay, this is never going to bring us anywhere. What we have to do in order to build a sustainable value proposition for insurers is we have to build our own insurance company to prove the case. So this is what we did with One. And One is the first fully integrated player in the wefox platform. And it's a fully digital insurance carrier, household liability just in Germany right now, but we have a license for all of Europe, right? It's highly customizable. We have a fully digital claim handling. 60% of all claims are paid back in real time. Yeah? And we have a give back concept that incentivizes good behavior of our customers for the community. And it's fully integrated into the wefox platform and has been really working on that interface between insurance companies and the wefox platform. And now we're starting to really go out there and offer that same possibility to all other insurance companies. This is called Nexus. I will explain to you in a while. But now, what is the role of One? How do we really get to reinventing insurance companies and the industry and get to what I told you in the beginning, where we see the future of insurance? This is all led by this. Okay? So the IoT revolution is an invisible revolution, but it's going to change everything much faster than we anticipate. So the first data revolution has taken a couple of hundreds of years to really change something. I call the first data revolution the book printing. The second revolution, data revolution, was the internet. 20 years, our life has completely changed in almost all areas. Very short period. IoT data revolution, the more data, the faster the pace of change. The IoT data revolution will change everything much faster than we anticipate. What happened in the last 20 years will happen in the next 5 years. Yeah? And it's really interesting. I mean, you look at, looking back, you had this computer at home, you had this modem, right? Your mom was on the phone, and you were like, hey, I need to, you know? And that was like a jointly used thing, right? And then you got your laptop. And the laptop was mainly yours, right? But you were maybe sharing it. And then you got the phone. Like, what happens, John, if I go to you and say, hey, borrow me your phone for like 2 days, right? Like, you know, this is like you're taking part of my identity, man, right? And then it's becoming more intimate, and what's happening now is it's going under our skin, right? And we're becoming completely connected individuals, and everything in our life is connected. And that's going to have a drastic change on the insurance product. So in order to create proactive protection from all likely risks based on IoT data, what we had to do with One, in order to be a pioneer in changing the insurance product at its core, is really build the right architecture. And the right architecture for such a future is insurance products need to be hyper-modular. So you need to be able to cut an insurance product into the smallest little pieces. So let's take an accident insurance. The bike insurance, the bike insurance is cut out of the accident coverage and could theoretically be insured just by itself. The second is you wouldn't want to have a bike insurance, a bike accident insurance for a long time, just potentially just while you're on the bike. So timestamp, turn it on and off based on the second, right? Just while you're on the bike, you're covered. And then you don't want to get out your phone, activate, and then when you get off the bike, deactivate, but you want this to be automatic, fully invisible. So it's modularization, timestamp, and IoT connectivity. What is required in order to build the insurance product at the core that can create that future. And this is what we're building next to household and liability. We now have a Travel Light product. And it's a first example of thousands that will follow. But the first step is always the most difficult. In our relationship with Munich Re and Exxon Vibe, we have built this first fully geo-triggered insurance module. And essentially, you get to the airport, and you get a full coverage for your belongings, for your stay outside of the country. And when you get back to the country, fully automatic via geolocation, it's automatically turned off. First step on a journey to really reinventing insurance. But now it's about how do we have an impact on the entire industry? You know, we're a very small distribution channel. We're a super tiny insurer, right? but we want to change the entire industry. And what we realized is that One and wefox and the connection we built between them has a lot of potential for the entire industry. So insurance companies really have issues with serving the digital demand. And in the future, we know all demand will be digital. And all digital interfaces have a demand for insurance products integrated into their customer journey. And they have a demand for flexible coverage with real-time repricing. Okay? So what we've now built for One, connecting wefox, we call the Nexus platform. And the Nexus platform, we open up to all insurance companies, allowing them to first analyze customer data in digital distribution channels, then build a custom product for the need, and then have a real-time sales campaign and real-time dashboards measuring the success. And on the digital side, I cannot think of a single example of digital players that do not have a need for an insurance product integrated into their customer journey. It's a massive demand. Please integrate flexible insurance products with a Stripe-like API into my customer experience. That I've heard over and over for the last 2 years, and that's what we're also offering to insurance companies. And this is how, it sounds really crazy, right? We're going to become the largest insurance company in the world. Because we're turning insurance from a very fragmented play with a lot of valuable insurance companies, one of the biggest industries in the world, and a lot of valuable distribution channels, into a winner-takes-it-all platform play. That's all of a sudden an $8 trillion industry and just taking a cut of all transactions and bringing the entire insurance industry into the future and supporting the innovative insurance companies and the innovative digital drivers to create the future of insurance. I'm over time. Thanks.